We all know that Prince Harry's an utter embarrassment, right? I mean, when you saw him on the Stephen Colbert show, the one thing that really struck out was the fact that, well, whatever he thought he was trying to achieve by being funny, irrelevant, whatever, I don't know. I don't really understand the point of the meme. I don't understand really why he was there, what he was plugging. But we do know, of course, that this was just ahead of Catherine, the Princess of Wales' spectacular carol concert at Westminster Abbey, something that she works all year upon. And just on clockwork as also, Markle decides to launch her chocolate bars. Now, I don't know about you, I'm partial to a chocolate bar, chums, right? I don't care whether the Star bars, Twix, whatever. We all like a chocolate bar, don't we? But these, I think, right? And the reason why I say that is that's not being unkind, but flour sprinkles or something in chocolate? Do you really want that? And as you can see, what's happening is this. Meghan Markle puts a video online like she spent years crafting to be a chocolatier or something, And what you really see is just somebody going along to a factory and saying, we'll slap your name on, and yeah, we'll call it this, and we'll charge 25, 35, whatever it is, for a hefty sort of chocolate bar, and suddenly she's a chocolatier or whatever you want to call it. And the thing is, nobody's truly buying it. The bigger picture, though, over here in the United Kingdom, is now the embarrassment that none other than the youngest son of His Majesty the King, King Charles III, has heaped upon the President of the United States. Now, you may say, of course, this was just something of a throwaway line meant to be funny, but as I pointed out, behind the scenes, Meghan Markle's paws were all over that particular script, right? She doesn't let Harry speak unless she goes, you now can speak. It's as simple as that. And he will do whatever she wants. Behind the scenes, from an excellent source, Prince William already knew this and reiterated this to his father upon their last visit. As ever, let me explain. Morning, welcome back. Thank you so much as ever for your time today, chums, and welcome one and all. Lovely to have your company. Hope you're keeping well, whatever you're doing, and of course, as we career towards Christmas, hope you've got your Christmas shopping done. Truthfully, tell me, how many of you are actually posting Christmas cards? I mean, I will, because there are people that I know far away and you want to keep in touch and stuff, but the cost of the stamp, particularly over here in the United Kingdom, you can get some wonderful, lovely religious cards, not too expensive. And the true meaning of Christmas, it's the postage on top of it, isn't it? So let me know, can you afford? What are you doing? Have you gone digital, or are you simply writing a note and doing that instead? Just how are you spreading the message of your Christmas cheer to family, friends and people worldwide? And is it still nice for you to receive a Christmas card? I like it. It's nice, isn't it? You find something on the mat, you think, other than a bill, and you think, not bad, something to look forward to. Something like this you wouldn't look forward to, of course, if you are His Royal Highness Prince William, the Prince of Wales. He must be sick to the back teeth of course, his younger brother. Just, of course, in a week where Catherine is busy, spending a year putting this together, which we all love to watch on Christmas Eve, let me tell you. It is lovely. Well, guess what? Once again, as you can see, Prince Harry decides to throw the spanner in the works, make sure that people notice him and his wife. What I find really strange about this? Well, I don't really, because I know exactly the plan. But what's interesting is, remember, he banned the cameras when he was over in Canada doing that speech, which was a politically based speech, right? He banned all of the cameras, selfies, everything like that, even though they thought this was part of the deal. But over at the Ed Sullivan Studios, the theatre in New York City, where Harry appeared to, some say, slightly unadoring crowds, well, he was more than happy for them to film it, take pictures. So you can understand that that fee was clearly a lot more, and he was more happy to be associated with the failing Stephen Colbert show over on CBS. The problem that really emerged from this is simply this, as you know. Basically, well, once again, Prince Harry decided to get political, slammed off, of course, the President of the United States, President Donald Trump, and then fired a line about how, CBS had paid out a lot of money for a baseless lawsuit. Again, what's it to do with him? Nothing. So, pulling the strings of the failing Colbert show. Now, let's not forget, Stephen Colbert is planning to go independently online, right? He's hoping that another channel is going to come forward and take him on board. That's not going to happen. We all know that, right, chums? But where this is really interesting, and this is the more serious side of it, is that Prince William warned his father, His Majesty the King, and basically said, you know, you don't let Harry back in, because once he gets back to California, he will simply, well, just do exactly what the wife says, in those sort of words. And it was true. Now, the dilemma that His Majesty the King has got, alongside Prince William, who have developed a good ambassadorial relationship with the President of the United States, all thanks to his recent state visit, and of course meeting over a year ago now over in Paris. And this is an important relationship. Forget, of course, the shambles that is Keir Starmer. The relationship between America and Great Britain goes back many, many, many decades, and William and the King really understand that. But now the King, and I've been told this from an excellent source, is in a bit of a dilemma. Does he now personally write to the President apologising for the behaviour and the actions of his son? Does he wait for President Trump to write to him and ask for an explanation? Now, many suggest, and I have an excellent contact, as you can imagine, inside the White House, and I think you know who that is. But apparently, Trump's just batted it off, and I kind of agree with the president. You know, you just give it sort of fear, aren't you? But the thing that you have to think of is, again, this drags the royal family into a political arena. And there was no need for that line at all. But as I said, Meghan Markle wrote that script. She guided Harry into that. And now both William and the King are in this dilemma. So far, the palace are not commenting on this, other than, you know, they claim they haven't seen it. That is not true. They will watch this and then just, particularly William, and think, great. But not of course, unexpected. And from this source, apparently, basically, William told His Majesty the King, way back on that very short visit in September, not to allow Harry an inch back. Be careful what you say, what you do, and of course how you phrase things, because eventually, once it's been guided out of him by his wife, the ruthless Meghan Markle, well, consequently, he will repeat it, say it in an interview, or indeed mock the family. And he's done all three. And exactly once again, William was right. Many of you might say, well, why doesn't His Majesty the King work on this, deal with it, and make sure that he shuts Harry down for good? I think he would like to, but of course, would that shut them down for good? Or would it open a bigger Pandora's box of negativity? And let's be honest, right now, the royal family are battling quite a few demons. Not in, of course, just the case of the former royal known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. You see how this now is very complicated. Either way, though, William was right? Neil Sean, Kensington, London.